Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Today I'll be doing a portfolio update for my Robinhood portfolio to at the end of March 2022. So my portfolio is I've actually invested $12,000 to date, and well, today there's not much movement here because it's the weekend. I think for the all time, I'm actually down by 5.4%. Well, there's the recent Ukrainian crisis, and the whole market has been coming down by quite a lot. It's rather scary, but well, that's just part of investing. In fact, at the worst of the times, it was sometime in the middle of March. I was actually down by more than 20% in this kind of like a growth-oriented portfolio. So now today I'll just go through a few key points. I'm just gonna share with everyone, including myself, my main holdings, the top three gainers, the top three losers, my thoughts on this investing journey so far, and my plan moving ahead in the coming days and weeks, and a couple of the lessons learned from the market drop over the last few months. So now, first things first, the main holdings and my top three gainers and losers, which are also like my strongest holdings, like my largest holdings in the portfolio. Thing will go to equity. So out of the $12,000 I've invested in this portfolio, if you go back to 1 year ago, I've not started since a year. So this is now backdated to the beginning, sometime in early April. I've actually just started in the early part of June. That's when the portfolio starts moving up and down in the early part of June. So this is kind of like backdated. So $12,000 invested, and so far 5.4% down. Out of these $12,000, my largest holdings are TQQQ, the 3x leverage ETF of the QQQ ETF, then followed by UPRO. It is also a 3x leverage ETF of the S&P 500, then Momentum, and then the top three losers are PayPal, KWEB, the Chinese tech ETF, and Ep3. I still have some others down the line, but just gonna focus on the top three and the bottom three, the top three gainers and losers. So if you switch the mode to percent change, for TQQQ I'm up by 23.8%, followed by UPRO at 15%, Momentum at 5%, then PayPal 24% down, KWEB at minus 33%, and Ep3 almost 20%. And these are the net returns from all of these investments. Yep. So my thoughts on the investment journey so far. Well, it's a little disappointing that PayPal has been beaten down by so much, as well as the Chinese tech ETF. They have not had a very good time over the past year. In fact, over the past couple of years. Then my plan moving forward is to buy any of the broad market ETFs such as VTI, VOO, and some of the dividend paying ETFs and growth oriented ETFs like VUG and VYM, things like that, when any of these broad market ETFs are down. And then to still continue to buy into PayPal and KWEB, the Chinese tech ETF, very slowly, and build these positions to the plan is to invest around like $1,300 in PayPal and $1,000 in KWEB. So I'll spread the purchase, and buy a little bit more time, just building on to this position slowly. Because we don't know what's going to happen in the coming days. It might even fall further. Recently there's been a rally and rebound, but you really don't know what's going to happen. This is just the most recent 3-month data. So a couple of the lessons learned from the past couple of weeks and months is to always really have a good idea to store up some cash, to hoard some cash so that you can deploy them at a later date. It is not necessarily a good decision to buy many stocks or ETFs at the same time when on some of the days the market is down and everything seems like it's trending on a discount. Everything seems very enticing. It's good to spread out your purchases and buy into these stocks and ETFs slowly, deploying like $100 today and a couple more $100 end of the week or next week. So that's lesson 1. Lesson 2 that I've learned is to not to buy too many ARK themed ETFs all at the same time. I'm a big fan of ARK. I love what they are investing in, and I'll continue to invest in them super long term. But all of those ARK themed ETFs are very well correlated. So when something falls, everything falls at the same time, and you'd see your entire portfolio kind of like bleeding really hard. So it's good to do a small comparison between the different ETFs, find a good valuation between them. One that is good value for money, it's falling a little harder. Investors are selling more than they should. If you're comparing between, for example, the flagship ARK-K compared to ARK-G, Genomic Revolution, if one's falling harder than the other, I might be more inclined to buy more of one than the other and save up a little bit more money for next week or the next 2 weeks to buy into the other one in case it falls more and becomes more favorable. So these are just my small little thoughts to myself and just some ideas. Having been invested for almost a year now in this Robinhood platform, which I really still like a lot. Hopefully for any one of you listening to this, you might find a couple of things useful, and yeah, that would be really nice that I've invested this time to put in this video and be able to share some of these things with all of you. Hopefully I can do another video that can show this portfolio growing, even in positive territory in the green for hopefully 5, 10, 15, 20% even in upcoming days. Who knows what the future might bring, so let's see. Okay, till then, bye. I'll try to do another update end of April or sometime in May. Take care.